What if everything you see, this screen, your hands, the stars outside, isn't really solid three-dimensional reality at all, but a projection? A kind of cosmic hologram encoded on a flat, two-dimensional boundary far beyond our reach? This isn't the plot of a sci-fi movie. This is the holographic principle, one of the most serious ideas in theoretical physics today, originally born from black hole physics, and now considered a strong candidate for how quantum gravity actually works. Physicists like Leonard Susskind and Gerard de 't Hooft propose that the full information of any volume of space can be completely described by data on its surface boundary, just like a hologram stores a 3D image on a 2D film. The volume itself may be illusory. Some of the latest work even suggests gravity itself could be acting like a kind of error-correcting code or information organizing force inside a computational structure. When you combine this with the strange behavior of quantum mechanics, particles that exist in multiple states until observed, the delayed choice experiments that seem to rewrite the past, reality starts looking far more like code than classical physics ever imagined. Then comes the bolder question: are we inside a simulation? Philosopher Nick Bostrom's original argument still stands. If any advanced civilization can run ancestor simulations, then statistically, most conscious beings should be simulated rather than base reality. Recent mathematical frameworks have tried to define exactly what a universe simulating another would actually require, and some researchers point to patterns like the second law of infodynamics, where information entropy decreases in certain mutations and systems as subtle signatures of an optimizing program. Gravity, in this view, might be reducing information chaos to keep the simulation efficient. Yet 2025-2026 brought powerful counter-arguments. Several rigorous mathematical proofs using Gödel's incompleteness theorems and non-algorithmic understanding now claim the universe cannot be simulated by any computer because fundamental reality operates beyond what any finite algorithm can capture. So the debate rages. Layer on the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, the idea that every quantum possibility actually happens, branching into vast parallel realities. In this view, there are countless versions of you reading this right now, some where you stopped reading 3 seconds ago, others where you never opened this video. Some interpretations even suggest quantum immortality. Your consciousness always continues along the surviving branch, no matter how improbable. And consciousness itself may be woven into the fabric. Newer theories propose it emerges from interactions between the brain and the zero-point quantum field, the seething vacuum energy that fills all space, hinting that awareness could be fundamental, not accidental. Finally, the Fermi paradox looms over everything. If the universe is old and vast, where is everybody? One chilling answer is that we may be approaching our own great filter, a point where technological civilizations self-destruct through AI misalignment, climate collapse, or something we can't yet imagine. These aren't just fun sci-fi ideas anymore. They're serious attempts to explain the deepest glitches in our understanding of reality. If any of them are even partially true, your life, your choices, and your very existence carry weight you never imagined, across infinite branches, inside a possible projection, watched by no one, or by everyone. The question isn't whether reality is strange. It's how strange are you willing to accept it really is. So let's push further into the edge of what physicists are saying right now, in early 2026. The holographic principle isn't standing still, it's evolving. Recent work has proposed novel tests for it, bridging quantum gravity theories by showing how information on a boundary could encode the full 3D bulk we experience. Some models even link it to dark energy and the universe's potential end state. If everything is holographic dark energy might trigger a slow cosmic unraveling, where expansion accelerates until structures dissolve. Imagine a future where galaxies drift apart so fast that observers see only empty voids, a holographic fade to black. But the simulation hypothesis, that's where things get heated. In late 2025, physicist Melvin Vopson doubled down on his second law of infodynamics, the idea that information entropy decreases over time in systems like mutations or digital data. He argues gravity itself acts like an optimization process, pulling matter together to minimize informational chaos, exactly what you'd expect in a computational universe trying to compress and organize its code efficiently. Gravity, in this view, isn't a force pulling apples down. It's the universe's way of debugging clutter, enforcing order like an algorithm running cleanup routines. If true, every orbit, every black hole merger, every falling raindrop is evidence of underlying data compression. Yet just months later, powerful mathematical pushback arrived. Teams using Gödel's incompleteness theorems, those famous proofs that no consistent formal system can prove all truths about itself, showed that any complete description of reality requires non-algorithmic understanding. In other words, the universe operates on insights no finite computer could ever fully capture or simulate. Their conclusion, the cosmos cannot be and never could be a simulation running on hardware we'd recognize. It's not just unlikely, it's mathematically impossible within algorithmic bounds. Other frameworks redefined simulation rigorously, defining what it even means for one universe to compute another, and found many popular claims collapse under precise definitions. So we're left in tension, hints of computation versus hard proofs that reality transcends computation. The holographic boundary might encode us, but the encoder itself could be something beyond code, perhaps pure mathematics, or consciousness woven into the quantum vacuum. This loops back to you. If consciousness isn't an emergent byproduct but fundamental, perhaps emerging from quantum field fluctuations or zero-point energy, then your awareness might be the one thing no simulation or hologram can fake perfectly. Every choice you make, every observation that collapses a wave function could be branching not just possibilities, but actual realities in the many worlds tapestry. Or perhaps it's all one vast self-aware hologram projecting itself through infinite perspectives. The deepest sci-fi truth here isn't that we're trapped in a game or illusion. It's that questioning reality this hard might be the very mechanism that makes it real. Your mind, right now, processing these words, is participating in the universe's attempt to understand itself. That's not poetry. That's the frontier of physics, meeting the core of existence. What part of this feels most real, or most unsettling, to you? Share in the comments. These conversations are where the ideas evolve. If your worldview just shifted a degree, hit like, subscribe to BrainyBox, and turn on notifications. We're only scratching the surface. Next episode dives into quantum immortality and what it means for who you really are across the branches. Reality isn't waiting for permission to be strange. It already is, and you're part of the proof. Now imagine death isn't an end, but a fork in an infinite road. This is quantum immortality, a wild but logically consistent extension of the many worlds interpretation. Every time a quantum event could kill you, a random mutation, an accident, a cosmic ray, the universe branches. In most branches, that version of you dies, but in at least one branch, improbably, you survive. Your consciousness, assuming it follows the path of continued experience, always finds itself in the surviving timeline. No matter how unlikely, there's always a you that keeps going. Through cancer remission against odds, car crashes where the seatbelt holds just right, or even aging indefinitely, you never experience the branches where you cease. From your subjective view, death never arrives. Recent discussions in 2026 still wrestle with this. Proponents argue it's inevitable if many worlds is correct. Critics counter that extreme survivals get swamped by interference, or that the idea ignores how memories work. Yet the thought lingers. If every possibility exists, then somewhere, in countless somewheres, a version of you reads these words forever, untouched by time's arrow. This ties back to the simulation debate raging hotter than ever. In late 2025, David Wolpert introduced a rigorous mathematical framework redefining what it even means for one universe to simulate another. showing that recursive simulation chains don't automatically collapse into paradox. No more hand-wavy, what if we're NPCs? The math forces sharper questions about computational resources. Then came the hammer blows. Multiple teams proved that any complete, consistent description of physical reality requires truths that no algorithmic system can prove. Reality isn't just hard to simulate, it's structurally beyond computation. Yet echoes of computation persist. The second law of infodynamics keeps gaining traction as a signature of optimization. Gravity as a cosmic cleanup force, compressing information clutter, it fits too neatly for some to dismiss. Meanwhile, the holographic principle marches forward. If successful, our 3D experience could be fully emergent from a 2D boundary. Not simulated code, but pure information projected into volume. So where does that leave consciousness? If it's fundamental, then your eye might be the universe's way of experiencing itself from the inside. Not a passive observer, but an active participant collapsing possibilities. The sci-fi thrill isn't escaping the matrix. It's realizing there might be no outside. Which implication feels closest to truth for you? Tell me in the comments. Smash like, subscribe to BrainyBox. The universe is inviting you to stare back.